Shall we start, sir?
Yeah, sure. Please go ahead.
Okay. So, hello everyone. I am Arji from the team of GISA Council. I welcome you all to the SOC 2 Compliance Simplified Type Control Report and Bridge Letter Insights webinar by GISA Council. It is a non-for-profit organization committed to empowering individuals and organizations through specialized training and globally recognized certification. Our mission is to strengthen the cybersecurity IT governance ecosystem by building skilled professionals through programs such as Associate Information Systems Auditor, CISA, CISM, CRISP Prep Training, ISO 27001 Lead Auditor, CISSP Prep Training, GDPR Specialist, and many more. Our director, Dr. Hiral Patel, is a visionary in the field of information technology and cybersecurity with over 15 years of global experience as a consultant and lead auditor. She is renowned for shaping the future of risk and compliances. Her passion lies in nurturing the next generation of professionals and guiding them into the dynamic world of information systems audit. In just 1.5 years since our establishment, GISA Council has proudly trained over 2,500 professionals across 59 countries, including participants from 160 plus global enterprises with more than 30 Fortune 500 companies among them. Now, I'm delighted to introduce Mr. Sonu Verma, a seasoned trainer with 17 years of experience helping professionals to advance their career. Having worked with multinational corporations and implemented reporting and data integration solutions, the vision through his practical insight, he aims to help individuals to enhance their skill, build successful career, and drive meaningful change in the organization. As a consultant and lead auditor, his practical insight make him a valuable asset to this webinar. Best wishes to all the participants. Now, Sonu sir, over to you. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you, Archie. All right, team. My name is Sonu Verma, and I'm here in order to help you out to know what exactly the SOC audit is, why is it necessary, what is the difference between SOC 1 and SOC 2 audit report. Then what are the types of audit, or like whether it's a type 1 audit or type 2 audit. Okay, they are further divided into SOC 1 type 1, SOC 2 type 2. Okay. Additionally, there is an audit report called SOC 3 audit report. Okay, that is actually basically the attestation on the audit. And on after that, I will be showing you the bridge letter. Okay, what exactly the bridge letter means, why is it necessary for the team to have a bridge letter for an organization, who is responsible to provide the bridge letter. Okay. Before I start the session, anyone is from the audit background from SOC audit? Is there anyone who has conducted the SOC audit on this call, please? Anyone has the exposure to this? All right, never mind. I'm just trying to present my screen. Give me a moment. Okay, let me know once my screen is visible to you. And anyone who has joined this call, or it is just an FYI that we will be issuing a certificate of attendance to all the participants after this session. When this session gets over, let me know once my screen is visible to you. Is it visible? Posit? All right.
Yes.
Thank you. All right. First of all, okay, there is a introduction of the five trust criteria. Those people who are ISO trained, okay, by me, I have told them that what are the five trust criteria that we use during the ISO SOC audit. Like in ISO, we have somewhere on 114 controls and 14 clauses, and they work on the CIA part. Okay, but here in the SOC audit, we work on the five trust criteria, which is known as CIASP, that is confidentiality, integrity, and availability, including we this is integrity processing, okay, or processing integrity. Plus, we use use security and privacy on the basis of which we conduct the SOC audit. Now, what are the ways to start the SOC audit for an organization? Okay, there are multiple organizations who's responsible or who's authorized to conduct the SOC audit. Any XYZ cannot go ahead and conduct the audit. They need to have license to conduct the audit for any organization. The main player in is known as big four companies. Okay, they are KPMG, EY, Deloitte, and PricewaterhouseCoopers, we known as PwC. Other than that, we have many auditing company. Okay, like there is in India there is something called A Line. Okay, you will find this company has done really good work and made his market, and these people are responsible or they conduct the audit for any organization when the organization consult them to conduct the audit. Okay, now before we conduct the audit, what we need, the organization, let's say GISA Council wants EY to conduct the SOC 2 audit or SOC 1 audit. What they need to raise a request for proposal, okay, RFP. Okay, let me show you how RFP looks like. All right, now this is the format of GISA Council's RFP. RFP format varies from organization to organization, but the main ingredients of any RFP we will be discussing here. We will write down the issue date and the last date for closure of this RFP part. We'll write down the disclaimer. We will write down the introduction about company. Okay. Additionally, we need to ensure that we are writing the requirement for SOC 2 audit. Okay, so what is the purpose for GISA Council to get this done? The purpose of this RFP is to perform potential vendor of a business opportunity and to solicit a proposal for SOC 2 audit. based upon the review and evaluation of proposal offered in response to the RFP, GISA Council made its sole discretion negotiation, and they have given their own uh, clauses, okay, why they need an organization to come and conduct the audit. They provided the bid submission, it needs to go to HERO, the last date of the receipt, and then after going through all this stuff, organization is responsible to select one of the vendor to conduct the audit. Okay. Now, once the audit is conducted, okay, they need to confirm here in the RFP whether like acceptance of terms, and you will see here if you go there, it says it's saying the SOC 2 audit. Okay. Now, there are two types of audit that happens in an organization, which is SOC 2 audit, is type 1, SOC, sorry, SOC 2, type 2, SOC 1, type 2. Okay. Now, this audit, let's say this audit, SOC 1, it is the audit on organizations' financial controls. Okay, those people who are not speaking, please, can you please help me by muting themselves? Thank you. Now, this audit, the type 1 audit and SOC audit report, which is a SOC 1 audit, okay, it's a SOC 1 audit. There's the audit on organizations' financial control, how organizations is controlling their finance part, how many controls they have applied in the financial domain, whether they have SFTP or not, whether they have firewalls or not, where they are keeping the borrower's information or the loan account information with the encryption part, all the financial controls that gets audited during the SOC 1 audit. Okay. Now, this audit, okay, okay, this audit comes with a type 1 and type 2. From where this noise is coming? Sudhir, can you please put yourself on mute? Thank you. All right. We talk about the type 1 audit and type 2 audit. Okay. First, before you understand what is type 1 and type 2, we understood that SOC works on the 5 trust criteria. That SOC 1 audit is on a financial control audit on the financial controls. Okay. Now, SOC 2 audit, SOC 2 audit comes, it is known as service organization control. Okay. Now, these are audit is mostly, this is on the like for the cloud service provider. Okay. Or those organizations who's using the cloud services. Okay. Now, when they do the audit for SOC 2, okay, they are also further divided into type 1 and type 2 audit report. So what is type 1, team? One, we know it is a SOC 1 audit. SOC 1 is financial audit. SOC 2 is a service organization, it's a mostly security audit. SOC 2 is service organization controls. Okay. Now, when we do the audit, they are also further divided into two parts. Let me bifurcate that. It's a type 1 and type 2. Now, what is type 1 audit? If somebody says, hey, do you have the SOC audit report? Yeah, you need to ask which one, type 1 or type 2. Okay, so is a type 1 audit is point of time audit. Okay, let's say I want the audit to be done this month only. So the audit we will do for June, from 1st June to 30th June, is the audit will take place for the entire organization for every controls. That is known as a type 1 audit. Okay. What is type 2 audit, team? Okay. Type 2 audit is for period of time. Okay. So this audit can take place for 6 months or 1 year. Okay, let's say from I want to audit Jan 25 to June 2025. Okay, or I'm selecting the audit period from January 2025 to December 2025. Okay, now when I'm doing this part, what is the difference between both of them? Osit, can you tell me why? What is the difference between audit time? Why is it relevant? Why is it necessary to maintain the type 1 and type 2 section? Osit, can anyone answer this question on the call?
Hi, Sonu. This is
Hi.
Karthik. So the difference between type 1 and type 2 is type 1 is essentially to audit from a design perspective, whether from a design perspective it is efficient or not. And type 2, it's obviously done over a period of time. So we see
No,
the effectiveness of the design over a period of time.
no, that is not the. Please put yourself on mute. Okay, that is not the case, team. Okay, put yourself on mute. All right. So point of time is that when we are maintaining a point of time, let's say I am just asking for a June audit. Okay. So the auditor is going to ask the evidence only for the month of June. Let's say I need to ensure the access management part, that people who have left the organization in the month of June, whether their IDs are deactivated within 24 hours or not. So I will need to know how many people have left the organization for the month of June only. Okay. However, even the type 2 audit, we are auditing for, let's say, for 6 months or 1 year. Let's say we are auditing, or the audit period is January to December 2025. So I will ask the team to provide me the data, how many people have left the organization from January 25 to December 25. So here there is a boundary, there is a limitation for getting evidence, okay, for 1 month. Okay, however, here you can ask the what you call the evidence for 1 year, January to December, that how many people have left the organization. So what happens, let's say there are 50 people who have left the organization from January to December. So I will be checking, I will be picking up the evidence or the sample from January to December. Let's say there are 50 people who have left the organization from Jan to December. I am taking, let's say, 10% of the evidence, okay, to ensure that our IDs are deactivated. So 10% of 50 is becoming 5. Okay, so 5 evidence I am selecting. Okay, but here In June, in the point one, type one audit, where it says audit per point of time, let's say for the June month, there is a one person only who has left. So I will be auditing the ID deactivation for that person only for one person, okay, only. So how does it work? So if I'm checking the evidence for one person, it is saving my time. But if I'm checking the audit evidence for 10 people for the entire year, it takes time. And that is why June type 1 audit gets the report gets ready very soon. But in type 2 audit, the audit takes place for more than 2 months and the report gets generated after 15-20 days. So it is a complete 2 and 3 months work. But in the type 1 point of time audit, we are just limiting our evidence collection for 1 month. Is this clear, team? What is type 1 and type 2?
Yes, Sonu, it is.
Yes.
All right. Now, let's say okay, the SOC or a service organization control audit, particularly SOC 2, is based on a set of trust criteria developed by American Institute of Certified Public Accountants. These criteria are used to evaluate the controls at a service organization relevant to security, availability, processing integrity, confidentiality, and privacy, fairly known as CIA and SP. Okay. Now, if we all are from the security background, okay, so mostly we deal with the SOC 2 audit or sometimes SOC 1 audit also. So what is the difference? SOC 1 is a financial control audit, where the SOC 2, it focuses on protecting system and data from unauthorized access, both physical and logical. The controls includes firewall, IDS, IPS, multi-factor authentication, okay. In availability, okay. In the security stuff, let me get here in one page. In the availability part, we ensure ensure the system is available for operation and use as agreed upon. Okay, what does that mean? It says system is available. It clearly says when we are auditing the system is available, it means we are checking their business continuity planning, whether the organization has developed the business continuity planning. They have conducted the business impact analysis. They have created the BCP test report. They have conducted the IR, incident response testing. The disaster recovery planning is there. They have the DR test report. In the processing integrity, what we check, ensure that system processing is complete, valid, accurate, timely, and authorized. The control includes data validation, checks, processing logs, and error handling procedures. It means it is talking about when you are processing the data, okay, in the network, whether you have the log management system is there or not in your organization, whether you have conducted the vulnerability assessment and not the vulnerability assessment, but the penetration testing of your network. Whenever there is a VLAN that has been put, a new VLAN, whether the change management has been involved during the process or not. Now, it also talks about that we will be handling the encryption part, is this processing logs and the processing integrity. So what we do, we need to check the audit will take place on the encryption part also, whether they are using the encryption, whether it's an email encryption, whether it's a DLP is there or not, email encryption, and the scrapboard DLP is there or not. Now, whether it's a symmetric or asymmetric encryption, we are going to cross-check and audit this part also. Now, during the confidentiality part, it says addresses protection of sensitive information like customers, data, or intellectual property. So it also includes the PII and SPI data. If the company is saving the data of the customer, okay, whether they are masking the data or not, they have the data classification in place or not, the data encryption, access restriction, and secure data disposal methods. Okay, when we are securing the data disposal, it is talking about to audit the data management DMP, data management policy, and data classification, data masking, SFTP, etc. Now, the privacy part, okay, this focuses on how personal information is collected, used, retained, disclosed, and disposed of in conformity with relevant privacy policies and regulations. Here, like GDPR and CCPA. When we are auditing the privacy part, okay, what we do here, there is those people who have gone through the ISO training from me, they know there is something called privacy impact assessment. Okay, there is something called DIA. Okay, data impact assessment. For that, we have a PDPO team. Okay, privacy development officers. The control includes consent management, data minimization, and secure disposal. So what does it say? When we are conducting this privacy audit, we are going to the GDPR part. Okay, now there is a question. If your organization is in India and it is dealing with the data of European Union customers, okay, does the GDPR apply to the organization or not? Because the data is being regulated and controlled by India. And India, we do not have GDPR.
Yes or no? It applies to anybody who deals with European customers. If the data is being dealt with or managed in India, we have to comply with GDPR because that is a clause in GDPR.
Thank you, Shukil. Yes. So what we do, the GDPR part, okay, what we do, we need to ensure the data is being collected. We have the protocol to inform the customer how their data is getting processed. They have right to forget RTF. Okay, right to forget, right to edit, right to delete RTD. Okay, these are the GDPR controls. That gives a company that to a citizen that yes, they can call your organization. They say, okay, I do not want my data to be processed. I am not relying on the India's security system. Okay, they can raise the concern. So what do you want, sir? Do you want me to retain the data, or you want me to transfer the data, you want to delete the data? Okay, okay, I need to go for port service, port out. Okay. Okay, let's say transfer. Okay, this is also known as a right to transfer or port out services. They say, okay, I want my services back to that different service provider. Yes, they can do that. So for that, is your organization complying with all these policies? Does your privacy policy talks about these things? The GDPR, there is something called there is something called SAR, okay, suspicious activity reporting. Is there any problem when your organization has faced any cyber breach? Are they being informed?
Today, one on the door, make I comot their this thing. I go finish that strategic listing reader.
Timmy, Timmy, can you please put yourself on mute?
Strategy
Can
and
you
make I just read to know waiting then they talk about that. I want to. You're serious now. I tell that girls.
all right? Sorry about that. So once we audit all these controls in the SOC audit, okay, there are multiple types of report that get generated. Type 1, I told you. Type 2, I told you. Okay. Now, what happens in the SOC 2? It reviews design and operational effectiveness over a period of typically for 6 to 12 months. SOC 2 is most relevant for the cloud service providers, SaaS companies, and data processes. Okay. Now, how the SOC audit report looks like. So let me pull the SOC 2 report. SOC 1 report.
So,
Mhm.
yeah, this is Vimal. I have a doubt here. So, you were mentioning about the SOC 1 and SOC 2, the difference. Like, SOC 1 is focused mostly on the financial control, whereas SOC 2 was on
Service order.
the five trust
Service order.
principle. Is that correct?
Yeah. Mhm.
Uh, so my doubt here is when you were discussing about SOC 1, you were also mentioning about like financial controls, and then you mentioned about what to say, FTP, SFTP, and so on. So does SFTP also falls under financial control?
Yes. When we are
Okay, so
transferring the data.
okay, my doubt here is, say in both the case, some controls are getting. So what you're saying is
Yes,
some
common.
controls
There
will
are
get
multiple
overrun.
controls.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
there are multiple common controls.
Okay.
You're right.
And from an entity or from an organization point of view, say if they are a global player, they might have a multiple entity as well as they might have a multiple number of applications. Okay, so some application might deal with PA and some application might deal with financial data and so on. So in that case, this SOC will focus on granular level of each and every application or everything, or it will be focusing on the organization-wide policy and procedure aspect. How would, like what I'm trying to understand
Uh-huh.
is whether
Okay,
whether
that
the
is decided, and that I got your question. And that is, Vimal,
Mhm.
that is decided by the organization's audit committee. If they want the granular, like the audit to happen on the enterprise level, they can go for that. If they want to go for a one particular process, which dealing in the financial part only, the auditing committee will say, okay, I want just this process to be audited. Okay, they have the right to tell the auditor that this is in the scope in and scope out process. If they say, okay,
Okay.
the entire organization is for the scoping, yes, that will take more time on that audit. Okay.
Yeah, that is where because you told 2 months period, so that is where my doubt was like. So, ideal case it would be 2 months period. I do understand that, but
Yes.
still, just for clarity, I was.
Yes, it
Yeah.
depends how big the organization is, how many departments are there, how many what are the business, how complex the business is. Sometimes
Mhm.
there are audit that takes place in 15 days. They do not have complexity in the business with 4 or 5 departments. So and there, let's say there are only 50 people are working. So it is not complex. The audit report will be ready in 15 days. It depends how big the organization is.
Okay, but this will be mostly focusing on the whether the respective policy and procedure are available in place. That is where the SOC audit focuses upon. Is that correct?
Not
Like
just
say
the
for
policy, it is a
example,
policy and procedure both.
yeah, that is what I'm asking. Like, no,
Yes.
there are three aspects here. One is policy and procedure. Policy will state what needs to be there. Procedure will state how that respective control needs to be deployed. And the third aspect is the actual effectiveness. When I say effectiveness means like what is it? The control
With
effectiveness
the
is
evidence,
also
yes,
there.
with the
Yeah,
evidence.
with the
Correct, you're
evidence.
right. Yes.
So here this will cover all these three aspects or the first two aspect. That is what.
All the three aspects. In audit, we always cover all the three aspects.
Okay.
All right. Now, team, there is a way to learn the audit. If there are many questions that comes, okay, there are people who face problem in order to reply the questions in the CISA examination, CISSP or CSM examination. Okay, there are questions that come from the SOC in the exams. Okay, so there is a way. Okay, the report needs to be read in a way, okay, where we should understand the main ingredients. If somebody asks you what is the audit period, okay, in the audit period is always mentioned here, okay, for the time period November 1st to October 1st. Okay, if by looking at this thing only, if somebody says, okay, let's say audit period is November 2021 to 31st October 2022. So this is a type 1 audit or type 2 audit. It's a point of time, a period of time. Sukesh. Anyone? I just
Type 2.
type 2. Thank you, Osit. All right. So it is type 2. When we are mentioning type 2, it means it is a period of time. It has to be for 6 months or 1 year. If it is a type 1, okay, it is for 1 month or a specific period of time. Okay, but for 6 months or 1 year, it is a type 2 audit. Now, what is the audit report? If somebody says, what is the audit report? Okay, what is the audit report date? Okay, so can you tell me where is the audit report date? Okay, somebody asked you. Yeah, so this is the audit period. Okay, the audit report date is when this report has been signed. Okay, so you will come to the third or fourth page. It is there.
Sorry, we can't see your screen. We can't see what you're presenting.
Is it? Okay, hang on. I'm sorry about it. Okay, is visible now?
Yes.
All right. So the audit period here is mentioned for 6 months. Sorry, 1 year. So it's a type 2 audit. Okay, type 2. It's a SOC 1 type 2. Okay, don't get confused between this one. It is a SOC 1 audit report. It means it is a financial audit controls. Okay. Now SOC 2 is type 2 for the when it is further divided for type 1 or type 2, it is for the period of time. Now, if somebody asks you, okay, I want to see what is the audit report date. Okay, if in your organization, if your manager says, okay, what was the audit report date? Okay, you will not say, okay, this report I have received on so and so date, so the audit report is date is that. No, you will drag down to here. And you will see it is signed by Washington District of Columbia. Okay, the report is signed on 13th December 2022, where the audit date is for October 31st. Okay, the audit took place for 31st October, but the report was generated and signed by the auditors or whosoever is responsible to sign the date. Okay, that is on 13th of December. So October, now November is after 2 months, the report has been signed. Okay, so it means the reporting, the report took place almost for 2 months for auditing and making the reports. Now, let's see how this report looks like. Okay, they give you the management's assertions. Okay, what actually this company does, what is the audit period. Okay, they provide you all this information, what they have audited. And I need to see where is the risk. Okay, like in ISO, we always get a risk register. In NIST audit, we get the heat map to know where the findings is. But in the SOC audit, we do not get that kind of any report that has a complete different, like a risk register or the heat map. So how I need to know where the risks are? Okay, so you will go here in the main report. They have written what they have audited. Okay. From here, and the SOC audit report is always a heavy report. It is almost for 50-60 pages. Okay. Okay. Control activity expected to be implemented at user entities, computer operations. They have given what they need to implement. Metrics, questions. From here, it actually gives you the main controls, what they have tested, how they have tested, what is the report. Now it says control number 1.0. So control objective specified, control activities provided responsible assurance that application and data files for the cloud service are backed up in a timely manner and securely stored. What happens? Okay, here. Documented procedures have been developed that outline the process for periodic backups of production data and are periodically reviewed by management. Okay. Now this is the control description. Okay, what they need to do. Now they have, what the auditor has done, inspected the cloud operation backup policy and procedures. So Vimal, here is this thing, your answer. Okay, they have audited the policy and procedures that determined that formally documented procedures were in place that outline the processes and requirement for periodic backup for production data and the backup policy and procedures. Procedures were reviewed by the management during that period. So Sukesh, like you and Osid, you can recall when I taught you how to write the policy. I always mention that in the policy we need to write down the interval when we need to review the policy. The best practice is that the policy of the organization needs to go for annual review, at least annual review, or whenever there is a change that takes place in an organization. So what this auditor has done, they have done the policy, procedures, intervals. Okay, no exception noted. They did not find anything. It means no exception noted means this organization is compliant from the organization, this control point of view. Systems are configured to periodically backup production database used on the defined schedule. Do we have that backup that takes automatically? Inquired for the information security, especially regarding backup of production data, to be determined that systems were configured to periodically backup production data during the period based on the defined schedule. So they check that. Okay, what is the result? No exception noted, means they are compliant. Hence they are auditing all these controls, and you will find that the control description and they are what they have audited and what are the results. So no exception noted means this organization is compliant for that controls. So let's see, is there any exceptions or not? No exception, no exception, no exceptions. No exceptions. No exceptions. No exceptions. No exceptions so far. So end of the result. It means this organization is compliant. Okay. For here also, if you see it, The third party especially perform a network pen testing. So like I said, whether it's a SOC 1 or SOC 2, they have to do the pen testing. Okay. It's inspected the result from the most recently completed network pen test. And example, change request and documented to patch vulnerabilities identified during the pen test to determine that a third party specialist perform a network penetration testing during the period to identify and assess potential security vulnerabilities, no exception. So they have provided the pen testing report also. Any question in this party? All right. Now,
So, just so normally when you do audit for the software type, normally how many controls would be there in general?
okay, there is no specified controls. Okay.
Mhm.
The controls is always created by the auditor based on the size and the complexity of the process. Okay, that is the question. That is a very general question that most of the time the interviewer asks. Okay, the control is developed. Okay, once you go for RFP, you're finalizing the vendor to do the audit. After that, they ask what all processes you want to audit, you want me to audit, what all the departments, and on the basis of that, they take out the five trust, all the control based on the five trust criteria. So when you are auditing any, when you see multiple SOC report, you will find the SOC report is for 50 pages. Sometimes you will find it for 70 pages, sometimes for 80 pages. Why? Because of the number of controls has increased and number of controls have decreased.
So who will be, you are mentioning that based on the
Auditor,
five trust principles, okay, the respective audit
auditor.
only identifies based on five trust principles, what are the controls
Yes,
need to be identified. Okay, got it.
yes.
Thanks.
All right. Now,
Excuse me, sir.
yeah, Devyanti.
Yeah, I have a question. Like,
Sure.
if there is no exception, but if there found any exception, so what time period should we need to in this case?
Good question. Okay, let's say you have found control which has failed. Let's say there is a no penetration testing that has happened. Okay. Now, that is a complete violation. Okay. The penetration testing is not done on the network. So as an auditor, you have written the organization is not compliant. Now, it is an organization who needs to reply that after how many months they can apply the penetration testing part in the network. Sometimes the organization does not have money. Okay, let's say mid-segment organization, they do not want the pen testing to done. Or let's say there is an additional firewall requirement that needs to be placed in the network. Everything needs money. If the organization says that, okay, I do not need it. So the report, and the next year also the audit will take place, this control will remain failed. Okay, but if the organization says, okay, my management is approving the budget where I can apply the new firewall, I can hire a new vendor to conduct the penetration testing, okay, or whatever the pen testing vulnerabilities that is coming up, I am hiring an internal pen tester who is going to implement that, and it is going to take 2 months or 3 months time. So they need to reply. So what happens if I say that, okay, I need 3 months for my organization to be compliant on that? After 3 months, the auditor may follow up, or before the start of new audit, they will follow up. Have you done it? They said, yes, I have done it. So it is 3 months, 6 months time. But what happens for 6 months? What will happen? My risk is open. Okay. So there is a RAF, okay, risk acceptance form that gets issued. The organization needs to sign that, okay, we are accepting the risk that anything that goes wrong because of the pen testing has not done, or there is a vulnerability in the network, we are accepting the risk. So the auditor works gets over there. Auditor does not force them. They just need the time by the management, how many months they need. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. All right. Now, let's say my screen is visible, right?
Yes, yes.
Let's say audit period Jan 25 to December 25.
Sorry, just one more question. Do you mind?
Please go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Just to address about that part of risk acceptance, right? So let's say that then the management have decided to accept the risk, and then we follow the risk acceptance process whereby they complete that whatever process that we follow in that particular organization. So does it mean that because they're accepting the risk, there should not be any at least compensating control?
No, it is not like that. Okay, let me show
Okay.
you the wrap. Hang on. Let me show that. Hang on.
Thank you.
Okay, is it visible to you? Can you see that risk acceptance form? Team,
Yes,
can you
sorry, I
see
was
the
on
risk?
mute. Yes,
Okay,
I can
okay,
see the risk acceptance form.
okay. So what happens? Let's say in the background, this form will be filled. Background will come that SOC audit issue, no secondary firewall, assessment of risk. In case of, we will write down the person will write down the risk. In absence of secondary firewall, the risk of the data breach is higher, blah, blah, blah. And then as an auditor, you suggest to the organization, please apply the secondary firewall. Okay. Now, this goes to the organized management. Okay. They need to select one of these options: avoid risk, accept risk, transfer the associated risk to another party. Like when they select this another party, it means they are hiring an MSSP service provider, minus security service provider, who is responsible to monitor your network 24/7 until you apply the secondary firewall. All right, then this
Okay.
is applying as a supplementary controls. Yes, you can do that. And then signature and all that. Okay,
I see.
right.
All right. Thank you.
And it must have the signature of the CISO and the date and what they have agreed on. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Now, the thing is that, let's say the organization is going for an audit from January 25 to December 25 every year. Next year, January 26 to December 26. Okay. Now, here in 2027, okay, what happens? They could not start the audit from January 27. Okay, let's say there is a scenario. Okay, there is a there is any chance, like in the COVID situation, there are multiple organizations who could not ask the auditor to come and audit because of the lockdown situation. So what happens? The audit got delayed. Let's say this organization started the audit from June 26. All right. Okay. Where, however, no, so 27. Okay. Let's say it should start from Jan 2027, right? But it started They started the audit from January 27. However, the audit was supposed to be started from January 2027. Okay. So how many months of the gap do we have now in the scheduled audit? It's 6 months. It is delayed by 6 months. It was supposed to start from January as per their calendar, but because of so XYZ reason, they could not start the audit, and it started in the month of June. So from December 26 to June 27, what happened? This organization is compliant or non-compliant, we have no idea, because the report, SOC report, says this organization is compliant as per the audit period from till we have audited till December 26. The next audit was supposed to start from January, but it started in June. What happened? There is a gap that has been created. We don't know whether the organization is compliant or not from December 26 to June 26. There is a gap. So what happens if you are working with any vendor? If you are you will say, okay, we are compliant. Here is the report. Okay. The vendor say, the regulatory body will say, no, your report captures the compliance report only till December 26. You are sending me the report in the March or June, and you're saying that the next audit is going to start from June. So what happens between last 6 months? If there is a data breach, who is going to be responsible? So they say, okay, sir, I can give you assurance. Okay, there is no change in the control that have been audited. There is no change in the infrastructure. For that, the CISO or the auditing team, okay, auditing body, okay, either it can be issued by CISO or the auditing firm. There is a report that is known as a bridge letter. Okay. Let's now here. Okay, the bridge letter will look like this. Okay, it says, dear valued customer, as you may know, Oracle blah 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 SOC 1 type 2 report for Oracle could service for this time period. The objective of this letter is to provide our client's external financial statement auditors with an update regarding our services and related controls included in the scope of SOC 1 audit report for the period of time that has lapsed since the end of the last review. In light of this, please be advised that the following statements are true to the best of my knowledge for the period of time between the conclusion of the review and the date of this letter. What they do, they write down, there have no event of subsequent to the reviews period for this report that would have a significant impact. There have been no significant changes to our services or underlying processes. There have been no significant change to our control objectives. There are the control activities that governs our services have operated as described in SOC 1 review, SOC 1 audit. There have been no significant changes of the complementary user entity controls. We are not aware of any significant operating or design deficiency specific to the control activities described in SOC 1 audit report that have occurred since the conclusion of this review report. So it is basically an attestation letter. It has been issued by Vice President SAS Compliance. Okay. Or it can be issued by the CISO also. But CISO issues this letter in the rarest to rare case when this auditing company does not have, or maybe is not reachable or unable to give the report on the urgent basis. The CISO can use the company's letterhead, and they can give the attestation. Okay, we have gone through the audit. There is no change in the infrastructure, no change in the complementary supplementary controls, no change in the whatever have been audited in the SOC 1 report, and they sign it. So what happens? once this is given, okay, this is known as a bridge letter. So what does it does? What it does, it captures the date, okay, from December 26 to June 26. It has bridged the gap, that the gap that has been created because of any XYZ reason, the audit could not take place. So bridging the gap by using this attestation letter is known as a bridge letter. Got it, Tim?
Yeah. So I have a question here. Say, for example, if there is any change of control took place during that window, that information should also be captured in the bridge letter so that in future audits, the particular control will also be tested. Is that correct?
Perfect.
So is my understanding correct? Those who perform the SOC 2 audit, they will only give the bridge letter. Is it correct?
Say it again. Those who perform SOC 2 audit,
Will they, the same auditors, will they have to give the bridge letter?
not same auditor. Anyone, this auditor does not issue the bridge letter. It's the head of the auditing company. Like, let's say you are working with a PricewaterhouseCoopers, and you want to take what you call, you want to issue bridge letter. So your department head, okay, let's say the vice president of your company, of the auditing team, they will be issuing that.
Okay.
Any question, team? Sukesh, are we good? Osif, are we good?
I do have one question. Hi.
Mm-hmm.
So a bridge letter is, can be given for both the type of audits, that's SOC 1 and SOC 2?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
I have a question. What control failure determines whether the organization is going to have qualified opinion of the audit of the report?
What control failure?
Determines whether the organization is going to have a qualified or unqualified opinion.
I didn't understand your question. What you are saying?
If
there is a control failure.
In SOC 2 report, you have auditor's opinion whether qualified or unqualified. Now, what are the control failure? We have the auditor will test controls like 50 controls or 80 controls depending on the organization. Now, some will tell you that what determines whether the report is qualified or unqualified is the control that has to do with availability, control that has to do with.
It is not the control wise, Johnson. If it is not the assertion will be provided on the report. It's not the control wise assertion. The assertion is always issued against the report. For each control failure or each control passing, we do not issue the assertion. Assertion is issued based on the report.
Okay, why I ask this question is the fact that there was in my organization last year. So there's control 19 that has to deal with using tools to monitor the availability of our system. So this particular control was failed because of the fact that we just changed the tools that we're using. Before we were using Datadogs, then now we changed to Rancher. So this Rancher, is still new to us. So it didn't capture some activities. So for this particular reason, the author said we are going to have a qualified opinion for that particular control based on that particular control failure. Brother.
Okay. That's it. All right, team. There is an announcement to make. Okay, this batch for ISA is going to start from 29th of June, starting from Sunday. Those people who are interested to learn this ISA training, okay, request you to speak to our support team. Okay, they will help you out in registering, and so that we can go for the complete practical session. All right.
Hi, Mr. Sonu.
All right.
Just one more question from my side. So, let's just say, for someone who is new in the audit field and they know nothing about this SOC 1, SOC 2 type
So they will
report.
be, yes. So they can still learn, because this practical session, there there have been students who were not from the audit, or forget about audit. They have not been from even IT, but
Yeah, yeah.
they have been trained by me for 35 hours or 36 hours. Okay, and we are providing the practical session with multiple question papers, multiple tests. Like there are students on this call also. Okay, like Osit is one of them, Sukesh is one of them. They have gone through the practical session, and yes, they found it very what you call it, helpful, and they have got the certificate also. They passed the examination in one go. So don't
I
worry
see.
about it. If you want, yes.
Yeah, my question there is, how then now, especially for the someone who's inexperienced, is supposed to know a vendor or a supplier who's subjected to this SOC 1, SOC 2, SOC 3 type
That is,
report?
yeah, that is where the training will help you. I will help
Okay,
you out one by one. Yes, don't worry.
okay. Thank you so much.
All right, team. So if there is no question, have a lovely day, and please register yourself for the class by speaking to the our GISA Council's support team. Take care. Lovely day.
Thank
You.
you.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome.